The Woman with Two Skins. This is a Nigerian folktale. Eyamba I of Calabar was a powerful and fearsome king. He conquered neighboring lands, killing the old men and women while enslaving the able-bodied men and girls. These captives worked on his farms until they died. Despite his power and wealth, the king had one unfulfilled desire. None of his 200 wives had borne him a son. As the king grew older, his people grew concerned. They urged him to marry one of the spider's daughters, as they were known to have many children. Reluctantly, the king agreed. However, when he saw Adiaha, the spider's daughter, he was appalled by her appearance. She was very ugly, and it was rumored that her mother's habit of giving birth to multiple children at once had caused her deformity. Yet, to appease his people, the king married Adiaha. The other wives, disgusted by Adiaha's appearance, refused to live with her. To keep the peace, the king built her a separate house where she received food and drink equal to the other wives. Everyone jeered at her ugliness. Yet, unbeknownst to all, Adiaha was not truly ugly. He had been born with two skins, an outer unattractive one concealing her inner beauty. Her mother had sworn at her birth that Adiaha must never remove the outer skin in daylight until a destined time. The king's head wife grew fearful that the king might one day discover Adiaha's true beauty, as she knew about Adiaha's two skins. Driven by jealousy, she sought out a juju man and offered him 200 rods to prepare a potion that would make the king forget Adiaha completely. After much bargaining, the juju man agreed, but for 350 rods. He prepared the potion, which the head wife secretly mixed into the king's food. For months, the potion worked. The king completely forgot about Adiaha's existence and passed her by without a second glance. Heartbroken, Adiaha returned to her parents. Her father, the spider, enraged by the injustice, sought help from a more powerful juju man. This juju man uncovered the truth that the head wife had bewitched the king. He prepared a remedy for a great price. Adiaha returned to the palace with the antidote and prepared a dish for the king containing the medicine. As soon as the king ate the food, his memory returned. That night, in the darkness of his chamber, Adiaha removed her outer skin, revealing her radiant beauty. The king was enraptured by her. However, each morning before dawn, Adiaha would put the ugly skin back on and return to her house. Not long after, Adiaha gave birth to a son. The kingdom was astonished, especially since the spider's daughters were known for bearing many children at once, not just one. Okay friends, I would pause here and ask you to like this video if you're liking it so far, and to subscribe if you want more interesting stories. Back to the story. The head wife, consumed by jealousy again, returned to the juju man. She bribed him to create a new potion, one that would make the king sick and convince him that his son was the cause of his illness. The juju man instructed the king that to recover, he must throw his son into the river. Reluctantly, the king agreed. Adiaha mourned her son bitterly. However, the water juju, a powerful river spirit, saved the child and raised him in his underwater kingdom. Years later, Adiaha gave birth to a daughter. Once again, the head wife schemed, and the king, after much persuasion, threw the child into the river. The water juju saved her as well, keeping her safe. Years passed and the water juju decided it was time for justice. He organized a grand wrestling competition in the kingdom, inviting the strongest men from across the land. The king promised lavish rewards to the victor. The water juju sent the king's son, now grown into a strong and handsome young man, to compete. When the boy arrived, the people mocked him for his youth. Yet, As the competition began, he defeated every opponent effortlessly. The king, impressed by the boy's strength and striking resemblance to himself, invited him to a royal banquet. During the meal, the jealous head wife, enchanted by the boy's beauty and strength, attempted to seduce him. The boy, wise and cautious, pretended to entertain her advances while secretly preparing to expose him. The next morning, the boy requested a public trial to resolve a great grievance. The king agreed and summoned the entire kingdom to the square. On the day of the trial, the boy stood before the crowd and began his tale. He introduced his sister and mother, who now revealed her true beauty by removing her outer skin. The crowd was astonished. The boy recounted how the head wife had bewitched the king, causing him to forget Adiaha, and tricked him into throwing his children into the river. He explained how the water juju had saved him and his sister. The crowd, moved by the story, demanded justice. The king, realizing the truth, ordered the head wife to be punished. The Igbos declared her a witch and executed her in the forest, burning her body and scattering her ashes in the river. The king, truly overjoyed, embraced his son, his daughter, and Adiaha, his wife. He declared Adiaha his rightful queen and restored her honor. To celebrate their reunion, he hosted a feast that lasted 166 days. He decreed that any woman found using juju against her husband would be executed, just like the head wife. The king built 3 grand compounds for Adiaha, his son, and his daughter. They lived in harmony until the king's death, after which his son ascended the throne and ruled wisely. Thus, justice and truth triumphed, restoring peace to the kingdom. This is the story of the woman with 2 skins. Please do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. God bless you, my friend. Bye.